There is a question that has followed humanity like a shadow. A question older than our fears, and older than our hope. Does God exist? Are we born for a reason? Or is the universe simply too big, too silent, too indifferent to care? And standing in the center of this cosmic confusion was a man. A thinker. A rebel. A philosopher of the absurd, Albert Camus. Camus whispered to the world. If the universe has no meaning, then we must create our own. But then rises an older, louder voice. The voice of God. The eternal author. The giver of meaning. The creator of light in human darkness. Today, we are not watching a debate. We are entering a battlefield. Albert Camus versus God. Absurdity versus purpose. Rebellion versus faith. So buckle up. Because for the next 30 minutes, we will walk through the dark tunnels of reason, to search for the light of meaning. Before we begin, if you love exploring deep thoughts, cosmic questions, and the human mind, you're already one of us. This is Tunnel of Sane, where we don't fear the unknown. We walk straight into it. Hit that subscribe button. Let's step into the tunnel, together. Who was Albert Camus? Albert Camus was not your typical philosopher. He didn't sit in libraries surrounded by dusty books. He grew up poor, in the streets of Algeria, under the burning sun. Life didn't give him comfort. It gave him questions. At 17, he almost died from tuberculosis. He saw death closely, too closely. But instead of surrendering, he turned that confrontation into a philosophy. Camus asked, if death is guaranteed, and the universe is silent, why pretend there is any grand meaning? He wasn't against life. He loved the sea, football, theater, friendship. He loved life so much that he refused to give its ownership to God or destiny. Camus believed, meaning is not discovered. Meaning is invented. The absurd, Camus' core idea. Human beings desperately want meaning. But the universe gives no answer. We want justice. But the world is unfair. We want clarity. But reality is chaotic. We want purpose. But existence is just, there. Imagine a man shouting into a vast empty desert. And the desert stays silent. Does Camus deny God? A lot of people misunderstand Camus. He never wrote long arguments trying to disprove God. He never attacked religion like some modern atheists do. Instead, he asked, how can I believe in a just God when I see so much innocent suffering with no explanation? This is the emotional center of Camus' thought. A child dying from illness. A family losing everything in war. Millions killed without reason. Camus could not accept the idea that all this is a part of a divine plan. He famously said, I cannot believe in a God who watches a child suffer and says nothing. For Camus, the silence of God is not proof that he does not exist. It is proof that we cannot rely on him to explain life. Camus' message is not atheism. It's honesty. He is saying, I do not know. And maybe. That's a more courageous position than blind belief or blind disbelief. Part 4, The Problem of Evil, Camus' strongest argument. The ancient religious problem goes like this. If God is all-powerful and all-loving, why is there evil? Different religions give different answers. Life is a test. Human free will causes suffering. God's plan is beyond our understanding. Suffering purifies the soul. Camus listened. He read. He reflected. And then he responded. These explanations are comforting. But not honest. The problem of evil is where Camus draws his line in the sand. He could not worship a God who allows injustice. He wrote a haunting line. If there is a God, he would have to be guilty. Not guilty in a criminal sense, but guilty of leaving us alone in a storm. This was Camus' rebellion. Camus' entire worldview revolves around one idea: the absurd. The absurd is born when the human heart, full of longing, purpose, and dreams, collides with a universe that says nothing. You ask for meaning. The universe gives you silence. You want clarity. The universe offers chaos. You want purpose. The universe shrugs. This clash between human desire and cosmic indifference is the absurd. Camus believed that once a person realizes this, once he sees that there is no grand plan, he must make an important decision: to deny the absurd, or to accept it, and live freely. But what about God? Isn't God the ultimate answer to this silence? That's where the battle begins. The voice of God. For thousands of years, people believed in God. Not because they had proof, but because belief gave them strength. A structure. A purpose. A reason to wake up and a reason to continue. Religion said, "You are here because God created you. You are alive because He has a plan. Suffering has meaning. Your actions matter." This idea is powerful. It comforts the broken, guides the lost, heals the fearful. Now imagine a universe where there is no God, no plan, no reward, no punishment. For many, that reality is terrifying. And that fear creates conflict. Because Camus says, you don't need God to find meaning. But God says, you can't have meaning without me. This clash is not just philosophical. It's emotional, spiritual, human. Camus versus God, the core conflict. Camus rejected God not out of arrogance, but out of honesty. He looked at suffering, war, injustice, poverty, and said, if God is real, why is the world like this? Meanwhile, religion answered, suffering is a test, a trial, a path to spiritual growth. Camus didn't accept that. He felt calling suffering God's plan was an excuse, a way to escape responsibility. Camus' alternative, humanism without God. If there is no guaranteed meaning from above, then where should humans look? Camus' answer is simple. Look within. Look around. Create meaning together. This is the foundation of Camus' humanism. He believed, we give life meaning through our actions. We create purpose through our relationships. We build morality from empathy, not commandments. He once wrote, there is no sun without shadow. But we must accept the night. Camus' world is dark. But human warmth becomes brighter in that darkness. Unlike nihilists who say, nothing matters. Camus says, because nothing is guaranteed, everything becomes precious. Friendship becomes sacred. Love becomes sacred. Kindness becomes sacred. Justice becomes sacred. Not because a divine authority commands them, but because we choose them.